All right, so now that I have this pen tooled, I'm going to go ahead and get these all selected by holding Shift on my keyboard and getting these all selected. Using my Move tool and moving up my book so that way I can see my reference photo. And I'm going to right click here on my layers and I'm going to rasterize them. So that way I can begin painting. Never rasterize your layers until you have the color set, because once you rasterize them, in order to change color, you have to go through hue saturation, and it's a lot more difficult. So I'm going to start by painting the cover. So as usual, I'm going to right click here on my book cover, like the thumbnail, and select pixels. I'm going to grab my paintbrush, set my brush to be a soft round. Here are my general brushes. So essentially it's just a brush at 0% hardness, so you get that airbrush look. And you'll see on the cover you have the light source kind of coming a little bit from here and here. There's a few. So it's going to be a little bit lighter on the right and darker on the left. So I'm going to start with white, low opacity, and I'm going to start with a large brush and just lightening the side of the book. And then I'm going to jump to my black and I want to darken this side. And it's okay, that's slightly exaggerated. You'll see mine's a little bit lighter than that. That's no big deal, as long as it looks 3D. And then we need to address the issue of this black book cover spine. So easy fix to that is now I'm going to up my hardness to around 90%. And with this black paint, I'm going to cut across and paint that straight spine. So I'm going to use that shift trick that we've been using in a few of the tutorials, where you literally just click. Oh, let me adjust, turn up your opacity 100% because we're making a solid black bind. So click with your mouse, and then over here, when I click, I'm going to push Shift first, and then click over here, and that makes that nice straight black spine that goes across. Okay, so the top cover is just about done. I want you to notice that there is like a lip here. So notice how it's like a small lip that goes around. This one here on the right is darker, so I'm going to grab a dark red. And I still have that hard edge brush, so I'm going to click, hold Shift, click over here, so it creates, that lip there. And then I'm going to switch to, now looks like a little bit lighter. I'm going to do the same thing here. So where I click, hold Shift, click to create that edge. Now I'm going to switch to my white, lower my opacity, and then I'm going to create like that little highlight that's kind of going across. So I'm going to lower my opacity or my hardness again, so it's a nice soft highlight. Tiny little brush, around 4 or 5 pixels. I'm going to click over here, push my Shift key, and then I'm going to click over here. And I might kind of go back and forth a little bit, okay, to create that. This seems a little bit hard edge, so I'm going to grab my smudge tool and just kind of smudge it a little bit, just to soften it. Okay. All right, then here, I'm going to go ahead with my smudge tool and just kind of smudge it down. You might not have to do that. It just depends kind of how you did your shift trick, just softening it. Okay, so it's looking pretty 3D. Now I'm going to go ahead and start with my pages. So let's do the front pages. So I'm going to right click here on my front pages, select pixels. Okay. This one, it gets tricky because we have these chunky pages. So I'm now going to go into my brushes and I'm going to look for a bristle brush. So I'm going to try dry media. Nothing there. Try wet media. Nope. Special effects maybe. All right, I'm going to try these and see. Oh no, I do not like how those look.